So now that this movie is out and now that I've seen it, I got a target on my back, y'all, because according to Ron, who we've had on this show from You Don't Read Comics, now he's like, if I don't start reading the IDW comics, if I go missing and I disappear, you guys will know why. So stay tuned for that. And welcome to my safe Gabe, everybody. Thank you guys so much for clicking on another video and joining me here on the Black Gay Comic Geek channel. If this is your first time checking out my channel and checking out one of my videos, let me introduce myself. My name is Michael. I call myself the Black Gay Comic Geek. I always say the things that I love to talk about on my channel has blood, sex, gore, and magic, or any variation of the force. I like to talk superheroes, video games, comic books, action movies, horror movies, sci-fi, animated movies, and of course I like to talk about black representation and queer representation, fantasy. So if that's something that you're interested in, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. It'll really help with getting me hitting another milestone here on this channel, getting 8,000 subscribers, 9,000 subscribers, etc., etc., etc. Currently, looking at my analytics, I see about 54% of the people that are watching my channel aren't even subscribed, which means there are more people that aren't subscribed to my channel that are watching my videos than my actual subscribers. So maybe I should tell you not to hit the subscribe button, because I'm like, I just looked at that and I'm like, wait a minute. That should be the other way around. But either way, hit the subscribe button, check out my videos, and subscribers, what are you doing? More people if you're subscribed to my channel, you should be watching. What's happening? Anyway, also with that, whether you're subscribed or not, if you could do me a favor, hit that like button. It'll really help with the YouTube algorithm and not only getting my video out there, getting my channel out there so more people can hopefully watch, like, share, comment, interact for the all gay rhythm, and subscribe. I'm like, wait a minute. 54% of my people are watching this video that aren't subscribed, and only 45% of the subscribers are watching. That needs to change. I don't know what happened. I don't know what I need to do to get that to change, but that needs to change. So yeah. But anyway, we are here to talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. It actually officially comes out. I believe it actually comes out next week. That's Wednesday, August 2nd. So obviously this is going to be a non-spoiler review because the movie's not out yet. So with that said, let's get into it. The synopsis for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem is, after years of being sheltered from the human world, the Turtle Brothers set out to win the hearts of New Yorkers and be accepted as normal teenagers. Their new friend, April O'Neil, helps them take on a mysterious crime syndicate, but they soon get in over their heads when an army of mutants is unleashed upon them. And I'm definitely a Turtles fan. I've been a Turtles fan for a long time. According to Ron, I'm not really a Turtles fan because I still haven't read the IDW's comics, but I watched the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoons. I've seen all three of the movies. Secret of the Ooze, which was the second one. That was my favorite. That was my favorite one of the trilogy. And a lot of people really hated the time travel one, part 3. I didn't hate part 3. I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was good, but I didn't hate it like everybody else did. It was just like, it was serviceable. I've seen some of the cartoons. I watched the series where they introduced Venus de Milo, and I liked Venus de Milo. You know, she was a shinobi. But with that said, the thing that makes this series or this movie more unique than a lot of the other turtle incarnations that at least I've seen, and I could be totally wrong on this because I haven't seen every single incarnation of Turtles, but I believe this will be the first time, or one of the first times, or one of the rare times that the Turtles, because the title of this franchise has always been Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but this is the first time, again, that I know of where the Turtles are actually teenagers and they're actually voiced by teenagers. And so you have voicing the role of the leader, Leonardo, Nicholas Cantu. Voicing the role of Donatello is Micah Abbey. Voicing the role of Raphael is Brady Noon. And of course, voicing the role of Michelangelo is Shaman Brown Jr. And then, of course, staying with the teenage theme, voicing the role of April O'Neil is Ayo Edibiri. And rounding out the main Turtles family, you have Jackie Chan playing and voicing the role of Master Splinter. And funny enough, this movie was directed, not funny enough, but this movie was directed by Jeff Rowe, who was the director of one of my favorite movies to come out. I think it was 2019 or 2020. Hold on, I'm way off on that. It was actually 2021. And it was the movie The Mitchells versus the Machines. And I actually reviewed that. You can click the link up here. And I really thoroughly enjoyed the Mitchells versus the Machines. So if you have not seen that, I'd recommend checking that out. I thought it was a really good animated movie. And speaking of a really good animated movie, I am happy to say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem was a really good animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. And I do feel like ever since the success of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and now with Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, a lot of movies and animation style, not a lot, but like I'm starting to see more and more of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse like animation style, and that's pretty much what this movie was. Not to say it looked exactly, it was a carbon copy of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, but you can definitely tell and see some inspiration for that. However, with that said, you still felt that they had their own unique quality and their own identity within that. And so a huge shout out to the animation team, which is a French animation company called Micros Animation. They did a really good job with the visuals with regards to this movie. And so if they continue on with this movie or with this franchise, because spoiler alert, it's not really a spoiler alert, it was already announced in the news that this movie was already greenlit for a sequel, and they're developing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles spinoff based off of this movie, following and using the same actors and characters, the Turtles, based off of this lore and world and series. And this is just the first incarnation of that. And this movie was actually produced by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, who also run their own production company called Point Grey Studio. And Seth Rogen, funny enough, was one of the actors or characters in this movie. He voiced the character of Bebop, you know, from the Turtles cartoon Bebop and Rocksteady, Bebop the pig, Rocksteady the giant rhino. And Seth Rogen's definitely getting more into the production side and things like that. And so it's good to see that it's obviously working out for him with Invincible, this and other stuff that he's done. And so going into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, obviously the main draw are the Turtles themselves. And I really enjoyed each and every single voice actor that played their perspective Turtles, from Leonardo to Donatello to Michelangelo, Raphael. Like, they all had their own distinctive personality. You know, the Raphael being the one that's angry, or with Leonardo being the whole like daddy's boy, or really daddy's turtle. Michelangelo being the funny guy, the improv, and Donatello being, you know, the genius and the more nerdy version of the bunch. And you felt all of that within the voice performances, and still, and again, being that they were voiced by teens, it just made them that much more fun and endearing. And their chemistry together, like they felt like they were brothers, and just listening to the interaction between the four of them. And just like what happened with Spider-Verse, spoiler alert, I already know this movie is gonna get canceled and banned and talked about in Fox News in certain countries, because there's a moment where the Turtles end up in a school, and it's not like a full spoiler, but there's a moment where the Turtles end up in a high school, and there's a thing in the very background. I'm surprised I even caught it, because I still haven't, as much as I've seen Spider-Verse like 2 or 3 times, and I still haven't seen like the Protect Trans Kids thing in Gwen Stacy's room. But there's a moment where they're at a school, and Michelangelo is looking at a poster on a wall, and in the background you see it says LGBTQIA plus History Month or something like that, history class or something along those lines. And I caught it, and I was like, this movie's gonna get banned, it's gonna get canceled because they got an LGBTQ agenda. Granted, that's the only reference in the whole movie. And again, I'm surprised I even caught it. But the fact that Spider-Verse caused such a backlash because of the Gwen Stacy thing, and it was banned in certain countries just because of that little poster that I hadn't seen, even though I saw the movie like 3 times, 2 or 3 times. I already know it's going to cause an uproar, especially with the creators being Mitchells versus the Machines. Like, that was very LGBTQ plus heavy and themed and everything like that. So again, if you haven't seen Mitchell's versus the Machines, go see Mitchell's versus the Machines. But here we go. Agenda canceled. I already know. I'll be surprised if it doesn't happen. Again, considering what happened with Spider-Verse. But also with that said, not in talking about Agenda getting canceled, like with April O'Neil, like she is a I was gonna say black woman, but she's a teenager. She's not a woman yet. She's a black character, and a lot of people are going to be upset about it. I already saw when her casting was already announced, people were upset about it. Little do they know, April O'Neil was originally black in the original comics that came out for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It was based off Kevin Eastman's wife, but then like with most things in Hollywood and entertainment, she was whitewashed for the animated series and then the comics, yada yada yada. But then they're slowly starting to go back to that. But then not only is she a black teenager, she is not pencil thin. Like April got some body on her, and that's something like she looked like a real life human child teenager, and I was just like, oh, that's also going to cause some backlash too. Me personally, that's something that I appreciated. I really enjoyed this movie and the story that they were telling and everything like that. And then you also had Ice Cube rounding out the cast, playing the main villain of the movie, and his name is Superfly. And being that it's a Turtles movie, it's pretty much on the nose. He is like Superman. Instead of being a Superman, he's a Superfly. And actually, the more I think about it, there were a lot of big name actors that did voices in this movie. You had Paul Rudd, Giancarlo Esposito, John Cena, Hannibal Buress, Maya Rudolph. Like I already mentioned, Ice Cube, Post Malone. Like there was a lot of people behind the scenes that voiced a lot of these characters in this movie. And you could just definitely tell that they had a lot of fun making this movie. There were a lot of Easter eggs and references to a lot of other Turtles lore, including the movies. And it was a great coming of age story for these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And this movie was very self-aware and self-referential, being that these characters are teenagers and they have been secluded from the human world, but at the same time are very obsessed with the human world. And so because of that, they drop a lot of references. There's a lot of pop cultural references, and it's almost very Buffy the Vampire Slayer-esque in that sense of like having so much pop culture references. They talk about Avengers Endgame. They talk about, I can't even think off the top of my head, but there's so many references to today's world, TikTok, Instagram, all of that stuff that they talk about, which would make sense for teenagers to bring up in conversations. Because yeah, they're turtles, but still at the end of the day, they're teenagers. And they're teenagers that are influenced by the human world, because that's essentially all they have to learn and emulate towards. It's not like there are other turtles that they can interact with. At least maybe not yet. Who knows what's going to happen in the future if they're going to introduce a Venus de Milo. But with that said, I had fun. I enjoyed it. I would totally go see it again. Now, obviously, with the movie, there's not, for the most part, it's not a huge nitpick or something that I like caused me to hate the movie. Obviously, I just said I enjoyed it. I would see it again. But there is one thing that they did with Splinter and his background, and not even just Splinter, but Splinter and the Turtles' background of like how they became the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, how they manifested and everything like that, that I didn't necessarily enjoy, especially once you get to the, especially once you get to the end of the movie and another character that's introduced, and I kind of feel like, and I'm trying to walk on eggshells, but like I feel like the way they describe Splinter and the Turtles' backstory doesn't have as much of an impact as originally when, these characters are introduced to each other and the rivalry that it caught. Like it's not going to have as much weight considering the story that they're telling with this new Splinter and these new Turtles. And that's all I'm really saying about that. So I'm like, I don't really like that. I wish they did that differently. But other than that, I enjoyed this movie. I had a lot of fun with this movie. I want to see it again. I can't wait for there to be a sequel. I would totally check out a spin-off series with these new versions of the Turtles, with these same voice actors, hopefully the same animation team, hopefully with the same director, etc., etc., etc. And so, yeah, That's my opinion on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But with that said, once you guys have an opportunity to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, what did you think about it? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, if you can, please, please, please hit that thumbs up button to like this video to really help out with the YouTube algorithm and the channel. And if you're subscribed, hopefully you are watching the channel, you're watching the video all the way to the end for the watch time. And if you know anybody else that's subscribed, tell them what's going on, why is only 45% watching, why are more people that aren't subscribed watching my videos than the people that are subscribed. So tell your friends, families, and neighbors about my channel to help me continue to grow. Hit that bell notification button so you're alerted every single time I post a new video. And yeah, with that, check out the next video on my channel. Check out the other videos on my channel. If this is your first time checking out one of my videos, check out the other videos. Hit the like button on that as well. Watch, like, share, comment, interact for the all gay rhythm. And as always, I will catch you guys next time. Cowabunga!